Okay, let's go. I love how succinctly it described my coma, but in truth, my brain did feel a few things. I just wasn't sure what they all were at the time. But Kurt Vonnegut, you can't go wrong with him. So. 20 seconds is long. I'll try better. So there I was, Christmas 2008, CEO of an internet company in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, living the good life in the mountains and enjoying the view. Had a great house, had great friends, had a bunch of gifts under the tree that I really wanted to open. So I was ready to go. Then what started out as a simple cold quickly escalated into bacterial onslaught and things deteriorated quickly. I lay in my bed, growing weaker and more confused, and I only remembered trying to bang on a window before I lost consciousness. I was lucky to have good neighbors up the mountain who found me. Record snows, even for Wyoming, meant the ambulance got stuck at the base of the mountain, which is why these fine folks showed up to transport me. While they were doing this, they were singing, so the unfortunate part is I didn't hear them. I was really disappointed because I've never ridden in an ambulance, air ambulance, and life flight out there is very busy. And the aircraft that they use are the fastest in the Pacific Northwest even. They're slower than in the mountains of Wyoming. I asked how it was. I wasn't awake for that either, and they said the views were stunning. Life Flight took me to Eastern Idaho Regional Medical Center. They're a high trauma level hospital in Idaho Falls. And it was nice to be going to a place like this, but let's face it, most hospitals that are big mean that they take care of really bad things. This was the emergency room welcoming committee where it took about an hour to stabilize me. Fortunately, I don't remember this part either. However, two of the RNs there would later come up to see me and tell me that they had never seen anybody that was as sick as I was make it out the doors. I've been asked, was it dark where you were? It was dark, but not very quiet. I found out that there were many facets to being in a coma. The coma carried me into a world where time and space seemed to vanish. It was a dreamlike existence in which people, places, and situations shifted as quickly as thoughts. The brain, despite being in a body full of so much illness, has the capacity to entertain. In my case, it was a huge red piano. The image kept coming in, and I remembered it played by itself, but a terrible choice of old country tunes, which would make anybody want to wake up. I went through a phase when I felt like I was having visual premonitions. I saw events that had not happened in my life yet. It included somebody getting arrested and another dying. Both happened shortly after I got home from the hospital. I found that remarkable. How do things like that happen? Are we really in control of our lives as we think we are? Okay. Our minds, our brains can take us to very dark places when left on its own. I had a profound sense of being at a crossroads, a turning point, and a vanishing point, and somewhere in between. In a nutshell, I saw death. I came out of the coma slowly. Opening your eyes is one thing, but getting your body to wake up is another. My first attempt at sitting up required 5 people to support me, roll the IVs, carry the catheter, the oxygen tank. The first time up, after 10 seconds, I passed out. I had to learn to walk, talk, and breathe all over again. My confusion was overwhelming. Déjà vu didn't come in handy because I had no reference points. For my eyes to begin to focus, I saw this on the television, and they made fun of me the rest of the time because I said, "What a great country to elect Bill Cosby and his family." My primary physician who followed me the whole way was Dr. Kenneth Krell. He was never far away, making rounds day and night. After it all, I found out he told my family that she has come from the deepest hell no one should have to walk through. He knew his stuff in more ways than one, and I owe him my life. And these were mine. While you're in a coma, you're plugged in, let's face it. You have several lines. I think I had 4 that were just antibiotics. The rest were to keep the heart rate where it should be. Behind that was the ventilator that was hooked to the tracheostomy. I was always used to being on the other side of the bed. That's me. I was a critical care nurse for over 15 years, which means when you're a patient, you're at a disadvantage because you know way too much. And I burned that cap after they retired those uniforms. I couldn't help but do this. My overall hospital nursing care was fine, but once I was out of the coma, I couldn't find anyone who knew what I was going through. You lose dignity when you're tethered to machines, and at night in ICU, my anxiety and confusion got the best of me, but for the most part, the nurses there reaffirmed why I became an RN. Meet Hebrew. I cannot say enough about therapy dogs. He visited my bed 2 times a week, and he was a joy. Pets do help us heal, and I still get a Christmas card from him. He was sweet. I call this my warrior shot because I earned that trach scar, and when I'm having a hard day, all I have to do is reach up and touch that scar. And I remember I fought hard with it, and it was because of it that I was able to live. That's really the genesis behind it. Starbucks has soon replaced all of those IV bags. My mantra since those dark days has become patience, courage, wisdom, hope. There were more questions than answers from being in the coma, but sometimes another piece of it comes back. I have the peace of mind. I have a calm. And without a doubt about what I want to do about the rest of my life, I know that too. The joy I get out of being a photographer and out of my life I now have, I have it in volumes. I am blessed. Thank you.